All right, welcome to another week. I just wanted to do a quick video this week. You can see a different background. I'm in New Orleans this week doing some consulting stuff for a guy I know that has a relatively new business. It's a little over a year old. I'm actually thinking about doing kind of like a business series where I interview people with either small businesses or new businesses or whatever it may be, and we may do that while I'm here, and I'll put that video out next week. But just wanted to quickly just check in on how the accounts look. And what a wild week, right? We always talk about be ready for the market to change, and boy, did it change. We talk about this every week. Trump's going to put out something, or somebody's going to do something, or somebody's going to make a headline, and the market's going to tank. And that's basically exactly what it did. So kind of jumping over to my screen, you can see that we had a big gap down in the S&P 500 yesterday. And it's interesting because yesterday would have been a perfect buying opportunity for cash secured puts, and also perfect closing opportunity for any covered calls. Because obviously covered calls, the contract gets more valuable when the stock price goes away from that. And the same thing with a cash secured put. Ideally, you're buying when the stock is low, and you're buying a cash secured put even lower than that. So as the market recovers or that stock recovers, you're going to have gotten a really, really good cash secured put. And I knew this. I knew this was most likely a temporary thing. I didn't know if it would be 1 day, a week, or 3 weeks, or whatever it was before kind of, Trump's fallout, before his tariff direction kind of changed directions, right? And it turned out to be only 1 day, which is crazy. I wanted to get some cash secured puts yesterday, but I thought, hey, maybe this is going to last a few days. Maybe this could be a week event. I don't know, but I didn't. And guess what? Basically, you can see it right here. The market had a big sell-off yesterday, a big gap, and now it's basically almost recovered back to where it was the last Friday, where it closed. So that's just the way it works. I was able to still earlier today. I don't know if you've been paying attention to, just even in today, it's been a big wild swing. And I was able to close some covered calls. Some of these stocks are just getting hammered. I'll pull them up real quick. BST, I had a covered call out for 185, and it's nowhere close, and it wasn't going to get anywhere close to that. So the contract was around 70 or 80%. I think about 72% of its value through like 6 or 7 days. So I went ahead and closed that, and I'll just wait for this to continue to recover back towards the top of its Bollinger Band, and then I'll get another cover call, and it'll be a little bit more profitable. As a matter of fact, let me just kind of jump over to some of the changes that I've made basically since the last video and this video. So I've always talked about, I really thought January would be a really, really good month. And I don't know if it's actually going to be just because the wildness of this market. But so on last week on the 16th, we did have Iran got called away. So that's good. We talked about this last week. I missed a little bit of profit. I think it was closed at like $52 on Friday. My cost basis was 42, and I ended up selling it for 45. So, the round trip with the premium, I made about $500, and you can see the returns. So not bad, like a monthly return. These are short trades, 13% monthly return. I'll take that all day. So, also Hood is just getting hammered right now. We'll go look at Hood real quick, switching back. Hood is just, it's a stock I love. I don't mind owning this stock. We'll look at the chart, right? So it's been a really good performing stock, and I'm not going to go through all of what Hood does. It's a stock that I love. I think they are going to continue to grow, and they've got a great trading platform. Right now, they're just consolidating like crazy, which just means they're trading sideways. And so every time I open a covered call, and I think this thing might get us called away, and I make a little bit of profit of it, the stock drops again. And then, so basically what I'm doing is, you can see my cost basis is around close to 130. The stock is only trading for about 105. So I closed the covered calls with that. I closed them early. I bought them back. You can see I bought them back for $26 and $34. Ultimately, still made my premium only return, which was close to 3% and a little over 2%, and over 21 days and 11 days. So, about a 4% monthly return and about a 6% monthly return. If you're playing the percentages, you're not going to get much better than that. So I'm extremely happy with that. I'm just going to keep waiting for Hood to climb a little bit more, open a covered call. If it goes down, I'll sell it. So that's kind of my round trip with Hood. On pins, same thing. It's just trading down, trading down. I close that covered call. This is whatever. Same thing with VST. I'm really trying to get out of this stock at this point. I own it for 185. I had a decent covered call on it, and then the stock dropped again. And so I actually sold that this morning. I closed it off. So you can see another one that's just kind of consolidating. It's just on a downward trend. And the RSI is really trying to figure out what it wants to do. It's not trending down. It's not trending up. The volume is not, it was super high a little bit. It went up. This is when we got a good covered call. A few days later, we closed it. So I'm just going to keep playing this game. I still want to get around 185 or 190 for this stock. And as it rises, I'll continue open a covered call. If it closes, I mean, if it lowers, then I'll just close it. So that's really it for this week. I didn't really have a lot to go through, other than just quickly taking a look at the account, customary to what we do every time, right? So we come here, and again, we look at all of our activity and all of our different accounts, and we say, what's a good thing to close? Remember, we look at anything above 70%, and I got a lot of good stuff above 70%. A couple I did close this morning. I actually tried to close this SoFi for 130. I did the mid, and I put out a bid, and it didn't get taken, so I just didn't sell it. But I said, you know what, none of these things are critical to move today, so I'm just going to sit on it, report it out to you guys and potentially make some moves. So as an example, anything closer to or above 80%. So like this Western Digital, I got 2 cash secured puts in my qualified account, and at 165, but this is expiring in 2/6, so 3 weeks away. This thing's already 80%. Closed this thing for $281. Well, the round trip of these, right? So if I close both of these for 281, I will make the difference between 1378 and 281. Kind of a no-brainer. If you look at WDC, if you go look at the chart, it's on a run again. So I feel pretty good about that. WCC, I just love this stock. You can see it's running away from my cash secured put at 165, and it's trading for 241. Pretty good chance this is not going to drop all the way down to that level. So I will close these and decide whether or not I want to chase this stock and continue to chase it up. But if I do, I'd probably come to around the 178 range. This is the 50-day moving average. So I'm not going to chase it all the way high up into here where you probably get a 30 delta. But I feel like I could get a pretty good trade around 177 or a good premium. And so I may do that. But either way, so that's all my positions right now. Still just in a kind of a holding game for January. We still got a pretty decent amount of activity. So if you look at what I have left open, we still have 6 positions that we are kind of watching whether we close early. CoreWeave is a great example. It's trading this Friday. If it hits 90, I am going to be happy because I'll get those called away and be able to start the cycle over again. It's trading at 94. So I'm in good shape right now on CoreWeave for this covered call this week to get assigned, and I'll make a little bit of profit, and then I'll just kind of start the whole thing. So right there, I'd make about $685 on that round trip covered call plus the premium. So anyway, I'll just update you guys again next week and potentially put out 2 videos, probably start a little entrepreneurship interview type of series on this channel. It just interests me. I want to start a small business. I've been honest about that from the beginning. So I'm just kind of in the process of doing my due diligence on that. And we actually, already have one, but we'll get into that later. And anyway, long story short, look for a potential 2 videos next week, but just wanted to just check in this week and see how everybody's doing and do a quick report on how I'm doing. So hopefully you guys have a great week and ride out a little bit of turbulence, and talk to y'all next week.